some of you may have seen my previous videos where I actually review 35 custom maps when they came out back on the Thunder Store. Now that Paradox Mods has been out for a few months, there are quite a few. Quite a few. Let's take a look. Maps. 1,591 mods are currently available. There are a lot of maps in the Paradox Mods platform. There's no way I could cover all of them ever. My plan tonight is just to go over 20 of the maps that I've found so far that I think look interesting. Some of these are repeats from the Thunderstore, as I still love them. So if you want to check those out, click the link in the corner here and you can see a little bit of a deeper review. For the sake of brevity and not making this particular video too long, I'm just gonna, rather than have like a full-on review where I'm looking at metrics and judging the maps, I really just want to give y'all an idea of what it looks like and let you decide if you think it's worth building on. So my opinions will mostly stay out of it. I'm just here to show them off. So let's go ahead and take a look. I'm using my only maps playset. I do have a few mods on here. Let me just show you what they are. Better Bulldozer was required for one of the maps. Desert map theme, same thing, was required by a map. Same for map texture replacer and I-18 in everywhere. I did enable water features as is an optional mod for one of the maps. Same for unified icon library, and I think there was one other one that I must have missed. Oh yes, historical start. So if you watched the previous video, I had this on before. I have it on now as well. I just want to be able to look at resources and things at the start, just in case if I want to take a look and see where things are at. Yeah, so that's about it. I don't have any. I'm not going to use 529 tiles. I actually want to know where the map starts at, and with 529 tiles installed, it doesn't. Like, you can just start wherever you want. So I want to see the starting locations and show those off to y'all. So yeah, with that all that being said, let's go ahead and kick it off. I'm going to do new game, custom maps, and I have 5 times 4 rows, 20 maps here to go through. So Angra dos Reis is the very first one. We'll just start and go through them all here. So this one's North American. Looks like it's got about a 10% buildable area. I'm gonna just leave everything checked. None of this really matters all that much. I'm just gonna hit start. Okay, so here's the first one. It looks like the starting location is here in this pretty little area. You've got a river, you've got some ocean, you've got mostly flat land, a little bit of a hill over here. Just turn those on so we can take a look. Yeah, it's primarily flat. Another hill over here. And then looking at the entire map, it is quite mountainous. There are hills and mountains everywhere. It's not going to have a ton of building room. This is why it said only 10% buildable area. But, you know, honestly, some of the most fun I've ever had with building cities has been in places where it's not just like one big flat open area. Like, it's a little more difficult to build around when you're respecting the topography. And yeah, so I think this one could be fun. Interestingly, it has 2 starting locations. Like, you can actually start both here and here. So that's kind of unique. And then I guess let's just really quick take a look at resources. Keeping in mind, these don't matter as much anymore with Paradox mods. You can paint resources wherever you want, but it looks like farming's pretty much everywhere where the land is flat. Logging's obviously massively in the mountains, as well as stone mining, coal mining, ore mining, and oil drilling is almost non-existent. It looks like there's a little bit right here. Yeah, so a little bit, but not too much oil. So for those who care about the resources, there's your options. Although again, just use a mod. Like, it's so easy nowadays. You can literally just paint resources on the map tile. All right, that's it for this one. Let's go ahead and move on to the next map, Black Black Dragon Canyon in Utah. So this one has a 59% buildable area. And yeah, let's see what it looks like. This is the one that required better bulldozer. This map had a crazy long load time. I do not know why. Alright, so here's your starting area. It looks like it is moderately flat-ish. Honestly, a lot of I can't talk tonight. Topographic elevation changes and whatnot, but it's not bad. Like, it's mostly flat, and you could easily build around this and build a flat city. Again, though, I'm not really trying to get too much into reviewing it. I really just want to show off these maps. It's got a lot of little hills and a big interchange. That's kind of fun. It's not like super impressive, but this little river is cute. A lot of just like hills and mountains way off in the background, but you're not really ever going to be building on any of those. Maybe you could a little bit. Here's the map edge right here. So I guess you could, in theory. Sorry about that. Those are some crazy mountains. Utah is an interesting state. It's really pretty if you've never been and you live in the US, or you don't and you want to check out Utah. If you love the outdoors, northern Arizona, southern Utah, definitely give them a chance. Anyway, not bad. I like it. It's interesting. It could be cool to build here. I don't know that it's like gonna be in my top, but moving on. Boulder, Colorado. I suspect the same applies what I said about northern Arizona and southern Utah to a lot of Colorado as well, if you love the outdoors. Actually, I recall this one. I think I may have looked at this one on the Thunderstore mod platform, but you've got an existing highway and things. It's pretty flat. It's actually surprisingly flat. I suppose it is on the foothills, I think, of the Rocky Mountains, so that's probably these over here, starting to go up, and Boulder is at the bottom. So it's overall pretty flat. There's not a lot of variety, honestly, in the landscaping. Couple lakes, nothing too crazy. Not really seeing much in the way of rivers. A little bit here, but okay. It's a unique map. If you just want to build and make a massive city, this is a good one for you. What about Cape Kelvin? All right, here we have another ocean map. These are honestly my favorite. I just love the ocean. Wow. Oh, wow. This is cool. This reminds me of some of the Cities Skylines 1 maps. They actually built out this sort of like farming area. None of it's zoned, but you could easily turn this into that, and it even has like a canal. So that's pretty neat. Up against the ocean. Or I suppose you could consider it a Great Lake. So this map has some nice little touches. I like it. The elevation is mostly flat again. Has a lot of variation though around the edges, like going up into the mountains over here, little hill here. This would be pretty fun to build on, especially with like this is gonna force you to not really build. I mean, it could force you to not really build a grid, just a straight, solid, plain, boring grid. Just because of the variation in the coastlines, like got an angle here that's totally different from the angle here, that's different from the angle here. So for me, I would have like, if I was doing a grid, which I almost always do, but like it helps to break them up. Like it doesn't really make sense to just have one big uniform grid everywhere, at least from a visual standpoint. And I play these games as painters more than like simulations. So for me, I want to make it pretty. So grids, okay, but it's nice to have things that naturally break up the grid. Let's check out the next one. This is a Grand Theft Auto 5 map. So this looks interesting. 23% buildable area. It's just a big island. And it's already like built out as far as the roads and rail and things are concerned, which is kind of neat. Like if you just want to build and you don't really want to worry about doing too much with laying out a grid or just major roads, arterials, etc. This one's kind of cool. So yeah, you might want to check it out. Give it a shot. There's a lot going on over here. Got some power plans. Have some places for possible piers, harbors, etc. And it's really interesting. It's mostly flat, but it definitely has some mountains and things around. So this one is like honestly really unique. And look at this like beach area. It's missing the palm trees, but you could easily use some mods or some of the basic assets that are already available and work on that as well. So kind of cool. I like this one. This one's definitely creative. I could see myself building on it when I'm more in the mood to paint buildings and things rather than lay down roads. So let's see. Moving on to, I'm not going to pronounce this right, Iasi, Romania. 77% buildable. And we are starting zoomed in on this roundabout. Okay, so this is just like that Grand Theft Auto map. This one is like super built out already with all the roads. It looks like it has some like weird elevation changes on like the roundabout, which maybe this is what it looks like in real life, but it looks like maybe this map just has a few issues. Again, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to judge too much here. It's cool. Like the roads are like all over the place. It definitely feels very European in some regards. Got snow covered like low hills over here, and it's really big, so you definitely could make a massive city over here. It looks like you have an airport already on the map, so it's really just waiting for you to build a big old metropolitan area. I haven't been doing the resources too much, y'all. Sorry about that, but honestly, with just mods and things, like I don't even know that it's worth going too much into it. If you want a farm, just paint a farm area somewhere, you know? So, yeah, their resources are kind of all over the place, but not really like the entire map. Okay, moving right along. Kexford. So this is one of the older maps. I love Kexford. I think it's pretty. 31%. There was also a Kexford temperate, if I remember, on the Thunderstore. I don't think I have that one added here. I have a few videos where I built on this map. I'll see if I can find those and link those if you want to check out some of the stuff I did on this particular map. But I really like this one. It's got a lot of flat area in this area where you start, a little more over back here, actually really quite a bit, and then some like a little bit with roads and things that are already built. But it's very mountainous, and the bulk of your building is likely going to be on this island here, which is not in the starting area. The starting area is right here. So it's just right across from the starting area. But you could definitely build quite a bit over here and get some cool harbors and things. So, and look at the views. Yeah, it's a really pretty map. Magnolia County by City Planner Plays. This is another one that I featured in those original 35 map reviews, and I'm throwing it back in because it's still a great map. You start here. It's mostly flat. You've got some finger hills in this general direction, and a lot of like hills back this way with some mountains on the edge of the map, and just like a ton of buildable land right in this whole area. So pretty flat overall. Let me show you the elevation. Lots of creativity you can take here with building. And then if I remember correctly, he threw like resources pretty much everywhere. Yeah, like farming is like everywhere in the valley here. Forestry is a little thinner because there's not a lot of trees on this map, but then like there you go. Like you've got plenty of places to mine and even some oil and stuff. So definitely lots of potential for industry. New London is another one off of the sea. This one's actually, I guess, in Connecticut or based on a map in Connecticut, if I'm remembering correctly. And has one giant starting area. So there's a big river, really weird dipping bridge here. Like no trees anywhere. It is very, very hilly. This is not going to be the easiest map to build on. But if you're feeling super creative and just want to get into it and like give yourself a map to challenge yourself, this is a really good one to start with. You can see the edge of the map, like literally the entire thing is basically just these kind of like large rolling hills. And then you've got, of course, the ocean on the edge. So probably you're going to start near the ocean and build backwards over time, but who knows? I'd actually be curious to see what people have built on this map. So if you have, leave me a comment below. Oh gosh, I can't say this. Ngorongoro caldera. This is in Tanzania, I think, where it's based off of 39% buildable area. It's in like a caldera, so like inside of I'm assuming a dormant volcano, but I'm not sure. One of the mods I have installed with the water is because of this map. So I guess the marsh is seasonal water based on that mod, which it looks like it's kind of like buggy visually. I don't know what's going on with that I was kind of zoomed out and it looks a little weird, but assuming this water disappears when it's summer. Maybe I'm wrong though, because it's already summer. Maybe I need to let it run though. Let's do that. I'm actually going to let it run while I talk. In theory, that snow should melt and then this marsh should kind of dry up a little bit. But this is the buildable area. This is the caldera that you're going to build inside of. Technically, you could build outside of it as well to the map edge, but that's going to be the bulk of where you're going to be building. There's a ridiculous amount of trees. You're going to have to build around marshes and wetlands. This is not going to be a massive metropolitan area. It is going to be a smaller town or smaller city, but some unique challenges with the seasonal water and things that you might have to work around. So I'd be actually pretty curious to see if anybody's built something here as well. Honestly, if you've built on any of these maps, just leave a comment. Let me know what you've done. Love to see some screenshots or, you know, your save game or whatever. Old Florida. We're about halfway through. Thanks for hanging in here. I tried to find maps that were like based on real locations and also not totally just in the US. Like I'm in the US, we can focus on just like us sometimes. I know that. So I tried to choose some places outside of the United States, but obviously Old Florida is clearly in the US. So this is Florida. It is flat as hell. If you've ever been to Florida, you know that. There are marshes, there are the Everglades, there are alligators and crocodiles, and oh my. So if you like flat and you like the ocean and you like beaches, this is your map. Honestly, you can just have beaches the entire way up and down. Little intersection to get you started out, and otherwise not too much going on. This is another one that I've previously looked at, Al's Uskumru Bay. I love this map. This is really pretty too. I want to build on all of these maps. I don't know that I ever will, just because it's too much time, but this one's awesome. You start in this area with like this huge bridge, couple of big bridges, and the highway, and like some pretty neat looking intersections. So a lot of infrastructure is already built, and then you've got some really cool places to start building into as well. A lot of things that are going to break up a monotonous grid and really give you the opportunity to build like a super beautiful, pretty city. So like you've got this winding road up to this winding highway, up into these mountains, and then you've got rail and highways everywhere as well. It's a really well done map. I'm a big fan of Val's work here. Peaks Bay is a new one. I haven't looked at this one before. So it looks like you're starting here with this highway and another street coming off of a highway. That must go underneath, huh? Oh yeah. That's cool. So your starting area is pretty big, pretty flat overall. Little bit of elevation change in the corner here, and then obviously a big mountain that you're up against, but mostly flat. And you've got a nice coast there, and then a big old island, or yeah, that's an island, kind of in the middle, right near the starting area. So you've got a lot of room to grow here, and a little bit of room to grow sort of around the edges, around the mountains, but it's very mountainous. You're gonna have a real hard time making a massive Why? I really can't talk tonight. Metropolis? Y'all, I don't know what's going on with my mouth. So yeah, this one's pretty neat. I like it. I could see myself building a cool little coastal town with some industry. And we're on to Samui Island, based on an island in Thailand. I guess he combined a couple of real-life islands to make this map, but you've got a pretty big starting area here with a highway and a couple of roads in between, and a river, I guess a couple of rivers, and just like mountains. Yeah, this is a very classic mountainous island. So again, you're probably just gonna have little towns and things around the edges, maybe a little bit of a national park, or heck, who knows, maybe you just want to flatten things out at the top and build. That is your prerogative. It's a pretty cool map, and I can definitely see this being like a huge like touristy kind of map if you are into that sort of thing. Bunch of beaches, maybe kind of like the Florida map. And here's yet another beach one for you. Sunset Beach. Oh, cool. That's a pretty little starting river. Let's see. So you start with a river. You're up against the ocean. You have a tiny little beach already with some sand, so that's nice. No palm trees or anything, but you could always change that. It looks like for building, you have honestly a huge area here. I wonder if this is based on the Florida map. Huge area here that you can build off of with a pretty massive beach. Little island here you could build on. And a little bit of room over here with the marshlands. This could be interesting to build by as well. And then up into the mountains. So got a lot of terrain variety here on this map. A lot of trees over here with some rolling hills. Yeah, this is a nice one. I like this. I could definitely see having some fun with this too as well. We are just about done. We've got 5 to go. Summer Isles. This is based on the Lakeland map, which is one of the default maps. Whoa, what do we got here? Town, low, medium density. Whoa, someone has like farming village 1 low density. Someone has just like marked everything they wanted to do in this map. Farming village. Is that a 3 or a 2 low density? Oh boy, can I read this? I don't know what that's saying. Oh, metro yard times 2. Serve all city zones. Rail yard. Huh. Whoever designed this map definitely had everything figured out already and how they wanted to build or how they saw you building it. So, there you go. If you want to start on something that tells you what to do and where to start, this might just be a good one if you're new to the game. City Zone 3. So there is a lot going on with this one. It looks like your starting zone is here. You'll just start here and then build your way out. It's mostly flat. There's some terrain variety here. You've got a lot of water, so you're going to be building around that quite a bit. But it's got a lot of bridges and things already too, so you don't have to go through the trouble of building your own, which is kind of nice. This is based on Bhutan, so let's check this one out. I'd love to hear, like, legitimately, if any of y'all have been to these locations in real life as well. By the way, I love to travel, and I have not made it to most of these yet, so I still have a lot of traveling to do. Wow, this is... wow. Oh my. Look at those mountains. They're massive. Oh my gosh. This is going to be one long, straight city. I mean, I guess you could build quite a bit back up in these foothills here. But man, look at this. Just along the... I've got to look this one up on the map. Look at this. This is crazy. This is a very interesting map. Wow. This is going to be a challenge map for sure. Huh. Has anybody been to Bhutan? I'm definitely going to look up some photos of this place. Here's Tokyo. Okay, and this is like, I think, based on modern Tokyo rather than how Tokyo used to look, because obviously they've done a lot of terraforming to get these straight edges. But you don't really have any mountains visible from this map, at least. It's mostly going to be flat, it looks like. Obviously there's a lot of hills and terrain variety, but this is very much metropolitan. Wow, really? I am struggling tonight. Metropolitan Tokyo. I have never been. Look at this crazy bridge. I really want to go. This is like on my short list of places to visit. This is going to be another one I'm going to have to look up. Compare this map to like real world Google Maps. Last two here, we have Volchoria, which is another new one, and then I think Wanaka is actually a repeat from my original 35 map review video. So this one's pretty mountainous as well. It looks like you're starting in a mostly flat area with a highway and some power and a rail line, but this is going to be a little bit of a more tricky map to build on. I'm actually building on this map right now. I kind of like it, but now that I've looked at some of these other maps, I kind of want to play them instead. So this is interesting, kind of like Bhutan, where you just have this like really narrow area where you can build on, but it does open up here, and then honestly it's fairly open here, sort of, in this general area as well. Not a whole lot. I mean, you could build a little bit on these islands, but it's very mountainous. A lot of trees everywhere. If I remember correctly, while I was playing it, I had a forest fire that took over basically like half the map, like this whole area back here and over here, like got real close to my city. So be careful if you play with disasters on this map, things will burn. Alright, on to the final map here. Thanks for hanging in with me. Wanaka, New Zealand. If this is the same one I'm thinking of, which I think it is, I played a couple of New Zealand maps, or at least checked out. Oh yeah, this is the exact same one. I really dig this map, and I have yet to build on it, even though I keep saying I really want to build on it. But like, it's, as you can see, pretty flat. It's absolutely got some variety with like these huge mountains and like rivers and more rivers and the coastline. But it's got a lot of flat land, and you could definitely build a metropolis here. But honestly, you could also just build a bunch of little towns and just connect them all. One here, one back here, a bigger one back here maybe. That's probably what I would do. A lot of this could just be farmland. They sort of tried to illustrate that with these trees. You could definitely turn these into like farming areas. I suspect these are already, yeah, fertile. So for sure. Really pretty map though. I mean, overall, I do like it. You're kind of protected where these mountains are. This coast is protected here at least. Little protected on this side, but actually you can't even build over there. The edge of the map is here, so that's totally non-usable land, at least until these get unlocked even further than they are. But anyway, yeah, that's it. We went through 20 maps. What do you guys think? What's your favorite? I'd love to hear your feedback. Let me know your favorite map. Let me know if you've built on any of these maps, and let me know if you've been to any of these places in real life as well. And I think that's it. Thanks so much for watching.